And what are your thoughts, like how SEO is gonna change in 2024? Like,
I think that a lot of people are going to be affected by it, and that it's going to change the game. Right? Like, there's no two way about it. But I also have kind of told people in SEO for a long, long time that you shouldn't just be putting all your eggs in the Google basket. If you're in SEO, you're not in Google engine optimization, you're in search engine optimization. And there's plenty of other search engines out there that you can transition or move into. And I would start preparing now, especially if you're kind of a content-based affiliate. I would start looking at, channels like YouTube and TikTok, potentially channels, social media channels.
How was the workshop, guys? There's no shortcut for making money online. It's only work. You need to work.
Jitendra Vaswani, and I'm sitting with living legend, Charles Floate, SEO legend. So we are going to talk more about SEO, what's going on in AI, October update, November SEO, like so much stuff. I need to talk with Charles. So Charles, I want to know your thoughts, like what's going on with Google with all these crazy and massive updates going on.
Yeah, what's not going on, I think, is more the answer to that question. I think Google is just, I don't actually know if Google themselves know what's going on. That's the main issue. They're kind of confused on what they're going to be moving towards, what the goalposts are. A lot of these algorithm updates are kind of coming out of the blue more because it seems like other algorithm updates have actually had negative impacts on the search results quality. I would probably say that they're just trying to move towards some kind of monetizable version of SGE. And try and release that next year, and also at the same time trying to increase their data center capacity, increase their search dominance, stop this bleeding to Bing and things like that. Right, there's so much going on with them. I think that they've just got they haven't got a clear focus anymore, and that's probably the issue.
And the Parasite SEOs are coming up right now. LinkedIn, Reddit, like everybody's spamming now on all these parasites. What are your thoughts on that?
It's like 2009 again. Do you know what I mean? Like, what? It's crazy, basically, that Google's almost reverted back to the days where you could just get away with spamming parasites with links and with content. And it's almost got to the point now where actually you don't really even need to do a lot of the stuff that you were doing back then. Like back then you would have had to create, like a 3, 4, 5,000 word post to rank it on, a parasite, like Strikingly back in the day. And then these days you're writing a Reddit comment and it's ranking.
But how you will trust that Reddit review if you want to buy iPhone 14 Pro example? So will you trust a Reddit review or some credible source?
Well, I wouldn't, but I guess that a lot of people on the internet obviously are going to just see it for what it is, and I think it's more of a volume thing, right? So
more like a volume thing.
So if you're ranking for 100,000 a month search query term, even if you get 100 conversions, it's probably still doing some decent, right? But the point is that if you can get a ton of traffic, you're going to earn money. That's basically it, right? It doesn't really matter where it's going to. And the majority of users don't have any sort of a technical understanding of how the internet works. And they would probably potentially even more trust some user-generated reviews and things like that than they would be trusting like outlookindia.com, for example, right?
Yes, Outlook India. Now they have been crushed, I think, according to AHS. We don't know the internal data, but
so they're still ranking for some things, right? But they've definitely been hit. But again, I think it was inevitable, right? Like they just got too big.
Everybody was talking about that.
Exactly, and they were ranking for everything, and some SERPs had 2 or 3 pages from Outlook ranking in the first page with it was ridiculous.
And Charles, if someone wants to rank right now in best website hosting or best casinos in UK, what will be your best strategy to rank for this tough competitive keyword?
I would still go with Parasite SEO, right? Because you just find local parasites. So actually at Chiang Mai right now, I've just ran into bettingexpert.com. I don't know if you know, they're the guys with the Telegraph. So they have an exclusive partnership with the Telegraph, which is a DR92 website in the UK. It's one of the biggest UK newspapers. They exclusively get to post on the Telegraph around gambling content. Best casino UK, best online casino, all those kind of terms. They're number 1 with effectively parasite articles on the Telegraph's news channel. But it's a 50-50 partnership with the Telegraph and Betting Expert. And apparently they're doing between 5 and 15 million pounds in commissions per month.
Holy fuck.
Not per year, per month.
$5 to $10 million, it's a fucking huge money.
Yep.
Wow, that's such a huge,
Mhm.
huge money. And what are your thoughts like how SEO is gonna change in 2024? Like SG is coming up, and a lot of affiliate marketers are really scared with it. Like it's not scary, but it's like dreadful thing for everyone. Like SG is taking up all the space on SERPs. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that a lot of people are going to be affected by it, and that it's going to change the game, right? Like there's no two way about it. But I also have kind of told people in SEO for a long time that you shouldn't just be putting all your eggs in the Google basket. If you're in SEO, you're not in Google engine optimization, you're in search engine optimization.
Okay.
And there's plenty of other search engines out there that you can transition or move into. And I would start preparing now, especially if you're a kind of a content-based affiliate. I would start looking at, channels like YouTube and TikTok, potentially
YouTube and
channels,
TikTok,
yeah,
okay.
social media channels, potentially, even if you're doing e-commerce, you could look at Amazon, eBay, Wayfair, all of these kind of stores that you can do that kind of thing. Apps, you have Google Play Store and the App Store and things like that you can do SEO for. There's all sorts of different search engines out there that are actually significantly easier than Google and can sometimes generate more money than Google. So Amazon, if you rank a product in Amazon, but or if you rank, tennis racket in Amazon, or you rank tennis racket in Google,
Uh-huh.
where are you gonna make more money? Ranked in Amazon for 10, of course, right? So the whole concept of just being so tunnel vision down the Google lane, I think is going to come and bite a lot of SEOs in the backside soon. And we definitely need to be exploring the other alternative search engines. Even if you're not just content focused and you're doing other types of SEO work with Google, I would still start looking at other search engines. Just because Google's also shown their face this year, right? Like they've if you look at AI content as one example,
Yes.
12 months ago, Google said all AI content is spam.
Spam.
It's blank. It's banned. It's not allowed. It's completely against the rules. 3 months later, they say that AI content is allowed, but it has to be human edited.
Human edited, yeah.
Then 3 months after that, they're like, oh, actually, AI content's allowed, but it has to be helpful. And then 3 months after that, like, actually, we're gonna use AI content ourselves now with SGE. So within 12 months, Google went from being like, this is black hat spamming tactics to we're now using it ourselves. So I'm not 100% sure if we can look to Google for any sort of real worth and value as an SEO, because they've kind of shown that they're purely about profitability and purely about being the leader in the market at whatever they're trying to be in at the time, which was search engines. It's now going to be AI.
Okay, I was hearing like at the mastermind, so many people are talking now, like they are thinking to acquire some e-commerce businesses because SEO is seeing a drastic change right now.
Yeah.
So everybody is trying to acquire some like brick and mortar businesses. I was hearing something. So do you think it's like a feasible thing to do?
So a lot of people have been saying, oh, just if your affiliate site's been slapped, put an Ecom store on it, right?
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure that's really going to solve the problem. I think that I definitely, my entire e-commerce portfolio has gone up this year. And I think it's because Google has realigned intent in the SERPs to more e-commerce focused than previously it was content focused, right? So, you go and Google best headphones now and it's coming up with like Amazon and eBay, where it used to come up with like Wirecutter and things like that, right? So exactly. So I think they've actually just shifted the entire intent of the SERP. And that's what has affected a lot of people. And that's why people are saying, oh, we should add ecom sites, but that doesn't change the entire format and intent of the SERP. It just adds something to your website, right? They don't really understand why e-commerce is ranking. They just think that adding an e-commerce site to their site now shifts their intent, but that doesn't work. Like it's not going to do anything.
And what do you think about the EAT? Like you have been talking on Twitter a lot about EAT. So what are your thoughts on that? Like, is it still working or it's like?
Yeah, 100%. You have to be building. So I am of the personal belief that EAT came out after what we already had. So EAT came out in like 2016, which is the Quality Ratings guidelines when they got released. And before that, for a long time, we still had EAT. It was just called trust signals, right? And we used to use that a long time before the Quality Ratings guidelines ever came out, before EAT ever came out, all of that kind of stuff. So and I have always been a big believer in trust signals, especially if you're in certain niches like YMYL and things like that. You almost have to be building these trust signals just for Google to validate, authenticate, and believe and trust your website for them to then rank it, right?
Yeah. So I think like it is very important now. Like it's make sure like you make your like affiliate site looks like a real business, not like an pure affiliate site, which like spam with links and all, right?
And actually like create a real homepage. Don't create a best this homepage, right? Like try and create something with actual information on it, with new posts, with all sorts of different boxes and CTAs and your social profile and everything. Try and make a real business. There's Will Reynolds who calls it real company shit, right? Just do real company shit.
It's like a real company. And what's the best way to design homepage for an affiliate website? Like, what will be your ideal structure? Like, make the best homepage.
So a lot of people at the top of their homepage, they're like, oh, I'm going to put my most recent posts or things like that. I always at the very top put something that is going to generate me money. Right, that's it. So I will put a email sign up box. I will put lead magnets. I'll put all sorts of things to do with the products. If there's a generic offer in my space, if it's Black Friday, I'll put a Black Friday box there. There's all sorts of stuff that I try and do just so that any traffic that comes from an inner page and they don't click an affiliate link or they don't click a CPA or they don't click something like that on that page and they go to the home page, I want to be able to monetize them. Right, I still want to earn money from them, so I just make sure that at the very top there's something that's going to earn me money. And people are, oh, how do you make money from email signups? Well, you send them emails to make money, or you sell the email list. And when you sell the website, you also sell the email list as part of the website, and that gives you more value for the sale of the website. Once you have done all of this, I would just make sure that you are kind of just making sure that everything is above board and that you have quality across the board as well.
Okay, are you doing any kind of programmatic SEO, like semantic SEO, just like Core, or
not really? So I don't really do programmatic SEO. I've done a lot of projects with people who have done the programmatic SEO, and I've been the informational backbone. So I've supplied them with the niche and the keywords and the data and the tools and built the links and that kind of stuff, but they've done the work. It's just mostly because I don't want to sit there and develop a programmatic build in Python for 10 hours. Do you know what I mean? It's not really the most fun and of time things.
Like,
exactly.
Like,
yeah. It's just,
for me, it's honest,
it's a waste of time at this point as well.
I'm a good marketer, but not technical at like So in SEO world right now, there's a battle is going on between SEMrush versus Ahrefs. And I was seeing your tweets too. Like, what do you think about that? Like, who's winning the battle?
I think either of them are, to be honest. I think both of them are looking pretty bad right now in terms of it. Okay. I do think SEMrush is slightly winning the battle more just because they're not making things public. Like, they're not making public statements about, oh, Ahrefs is doing this or Ahrefs is doing that, where Ahrefs is doing it to SEMrush. And it does make you look petty, and it does make you, you know, it's just not a good look when you're constantly talking and bashing about your competitor, like your biggest. Like, when do you ever go into Walmart and then see them talking about other supermarket chains and stuff, right? It just doesn't happen. Like, it's just ridiculous. And I think that's a bad look for Ahrefs. However, Ahrefs still have the best data, they still have the best tool, and I still believe 100% that it is the best tool in SEO.
It's the best tool, yeah, because of the UX and UI is pretty nice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't like the SEMrush UX at all.
UX is not so good. That's my main problem too with SEMrush. The tool is pretty good. And what do you think about the spam scores by SEMrush and all these tools? Like, does it really matter?
No, it's nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
It's nonsense. Like,
nonsense. Mod scam score, SEMrush spam score, they're all nonsense.
Nonsense. Like, even if you have a high spam score, and so you will look at the quality of the backlinks if you want to like invest in that.
So spam score doesn't look at tiered link building. It doesn't look at other page on the website. It doesn't take into all of these other signals that actually do affect your spam score, right? I wouldn't believe in it, and a lot of people have been using the SEMrush disavow tool, which also takes into consideration the spam score, and it ends up really messing with the end result and things like that. And people have ended up uploading SEMrush based disavows that have burned their site more than it's helped them. So they've actually lost rankings for uploading them.
Like Kasra was sharing.
Yeah, exactly. Like
it's horrible. So do you think it's somebody's building bad backlinks for my niche website? So I should these are the links, or I should leave up to Google? Okay, do whatever you want, man. It's Google will understand automatically. Like, these links are bad and these links are good.
I think it's a case by case scenario, right? So like, if you have got just an overwhelming amount of really bad links, or you've been hit by a really bad negative SEO attack, and it is a bad negative SEO attack, then I would still disavow. But 99% of the cases, I don't disavow. Right, I just leave it because I let Google work it out, and eventually they just make a lot of signals neutral anyway. They just neutralize links, so they don't have any effect. It's not bad or good, right?
And do you think like removing unhelpful content, like recently on my niche website, like the main website, not a niche website, it's my website where I do interviews with you and all, I trash almost like 1,000 articles because they were very unhelpful, like some reviews,
Yeah.
some bad content, like which I written in 2015, which was not helpful. And my traffic gone down like almost like 20-30% after this October code update. In August, it went up like 40% up. But in October, again, it's like 30% down again. In November, now I'm seeing a little bit uptick, like a hockey stick, a little bit. I'm seeing that.
Yeah.
So what do you think about it? Like trashing the content?
So content pruning, the one thing I have an issue with it is that even if that page isn't the best, even if that page isn't getting traffic or clicks or something, it could still be topically supporting a page that does get clicks and that is good, right? And that if you remove that topical part of the bubble, then this page is not as strong as it was before because it doesn't have that piece of content supporting it topically. It doesn't matter if this page wasn't that great, but it still had some intent that was powering up the topical authority of this page that was getting traffic. So that could also have been, you might have dropped traffic just because of you no longer have the topical authority in that specific area anymore.
Like specific. And what I'm seeing like these days, like some like shitty website with like totally AI content, they're ranking up for like tough keywords like Ramani coupon code, chess for AI coupon code. They are ranking on the top. Like, what do you think about these websites? Like, what totally trashy AI content? Still, they're outranking some like good websites. Like,
I you know, again, it's probably a lot of it is down to the fact that AI content, you can go and upload 10,000 articles or something in one go, rather than having to try and create that over the course of many years, right? So you automatically have the topical authority from day one rather than having to wait for it.
Okay, one last question. I will not take too much of your time. What's your experience like? How was your experience in Chiang Mai SEO conference? Like, how was it?
Yeah, it's awesome. Like I've been a speaker every year. This is the first time I'm not speaking because I'm not speaking at other people's events now. And I've just been really enjoying being an attendee rather than having to kind of go out of my way to kind of meet all these people and be on stage and have these like anxiety mornings and things where you've got to go and speak to 1,000 people and stuff. It's not the most fun. It's a lot more fun when you're in the audience and get to learn and pick up everything than being like, you know, the center of attention to everybody and things. It's not that great.
What were your key takeaways? So you were part of some masterminds here. So do you want to share some key takeaways in the audience? Like,
so I had like Steve Toth in my group, who's an absolutely awesome guy from the SEO Notebook, and one of the nicest guys in SEO, one of the most knowledgeable as well. We had so many takeaways. It's really difficult because everybody was in different things. So we had one guy in Ecom, one guy who had a VA agency, one guy in an SEO agency, me who's doing all sorts of stuff, Steve who's doing SEO agency and influencer stuff. So we kind of had a load of things. I think the main takeaway that there was a load of different options out there, and that everyone's kind of in this panic mode. Where everyone's just like, oh, AI, SGE, what's going on? I don't know. And really the people who are focused, staying still and trying to just move towards whatever is coming next, those are the people that are going to really make it. And then I think that there should be less panic and more attention to be actually focusing what is moving the industry forward. And it's very obvious that AI is the future of the industry. And if you aren't adapting to it, then you will be left behind. There's just no two ways about it.
Well, like make AI as your friend, right? It's not your enemy. Like,
exactly.
To be very honest, like I'm using AI and my team is using AI, and we do have a human touch there. That's for sure. So that's AI is really helping us to automate a lot of tasks for us. Like earlier, like we need to back to the writers, hey, give me the content, give me this. And now, like AI is working like ChatGPT is working for us like 24 hours a day.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no break. Like ChatGPT will not get tired, right?
And it's got like every VA's task in one, right? Like can generate images, text, it can do maths and science and data analysis and graphs and charts and all sorts of things like that. Coding, right? It can do everything like that.
So thank you so much, Charles, for sharing your great insight on this SEO, a lot of updates.
Well, I appreciate you having me.
Thank you so much. Really.
Thank you.
Like guys, if you get the value from this video, please share, like, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much, Charles. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye. Take care.